whatever age that is she 14? We've seen high school marriages
Yeah, let's
whether
say
it's 12.
let's say this girl menstruated at 8. Do you think that it's okay for a man to marry and sleep with her at 8, even
But
though she bled?
I, bro, you're asking for my personal belief, but God
Yeah.
created our bodies. So why did God make her menstruate?
Well,
Menstruate,
menstruation doesn't mean
when a
that she's a
woman
woman.
menstruates.
My friend, listen.
No, no,
Menstruation
no.
doesn't mean that you're a woman yet.
So what does
Menstruation is
menstruation
a
mean?
sign of growing and maturity. Puberty doesn't mean
Menstruate.
you're
I know for true in modern day world why I believe Islam is the truth. And
okay.
if you want me, I can speak on that.
So you believe that Islam is conducive to modern times.
It can, yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay. So let me ask you something. I'm gonna pull up something. What are your thoughts on child marriage?
You're gonna bring up this argument. We want to talk about this argument. Okay. Okay. So that's not modern time because that was a different era in time. You can look it through history and everything about how the age of marriage was developed.
That's not what I
But
asked. I asked, how do you feel about child marriage, bro?
how do I feel about child marriage? The problem with that question is back then everyone was marrying off their like arranged marriages with no
And you know
like
what?
child marriage doesn't
Back then, they used to sell people that looked like me for slavery and forced labor.
yes I understand that
Is that
but
okay?
that's not that's not a Sharia child marriage. You're talking about the
It
life
is
of
a
Prophet
Sharia.
Muhammad.
It is a Sharia. I'm not even talking about Muhammad.
That that's not child marriage is not a law.
Yes, it is.
Like okay, so I guess you got to bring it up. So let's go over it if you want to bring it up.
Yeah, well, I'll show you that in a second. But in the meantime, before I do that, I want to get your opinion. How do you feel about child marriage? Why is this so hard to answer?
Obviously, I don't think it's like appropriate right now, child marriage, because
Good. You don't think it's appropriate?
women have more right. We
Good.
don't have arranged marriages now. But if like
So,
two families
oh yeah, you do actually.
have like a
You still to this day have arranged marriages.
yeah, but it's not as
I just
prevalent
saw a
as right
video
now.
where I just saw a video where a daughter was sold to a man for marriage as a little wife. She was like 7.
Sold,
Yeah,
sold.
sold as
That's not
yeah.
really yeah. Arranged
Yeah,
marriage is when two
that
families
is
come
an
together,
arranged
the
marriage.
parents and everything.
Well,
If you sell your thing,
that's literally what an arranged marriage is. It's a marriage that is decided by the guardians or the parents, and they're arranging the marriage. It's not the choice of the bride.
okay,
So that's what an arranged marriage is. So this
okay.
person had it made a deal with the girl's daughter. I mean, the girl's father, because the father, he was running out of money, and the guy was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll buy your daughter. I'll give you the dowry for your daughter, and you'll be straight." And so they did that. He sold his daughter as a wife, and she was like 7 years
Obviously,
old.
things have developed over time throughout generations and modern times that you do realize that like in California, the age of marriage was 10 in 1880. Like things have
Again,
developed in modern
again.
times, you know?
Oh,
And
right.
this is
I like
and
that.
we're
So you're saying, wait, just one second. So you're saying that in time, we as humans develop for the better. Like we get better. We get away from doing the bad thing, and we do better.
right, absolutely. Of course, we're humans.
So
Yeah, yeah,
what
of
you're saying
course.
is that
Yes. But
I
child
got you.
marriage
So what
isn't
you're
God's
saying
law.
is, yeah, just hold on. So what you're saying is that we have developed in a better way morally than what Allah allowed and taught in the Quran and the Hadiths. We today as a culture are better than the religion of Islam.
No, I wouldn't put in that statement. No, because I don't believe child marriage was a Sharia that is meant to be for all times. Like God, I believe that the Quran is like God's final message to
So
mankind,
if
to
it wasn't
humankind.
for all time, if Allah allowed it during Muhammad's time, and you're
And during
saying that
Jesus'
we
time,
developed
and during
better,
Moses' time,
huh?
and during the previous prophet's time, and
No, it
everything.
wasn't.
You know,
No, it was not.
I'm sure it was, bro.
It wasn't.
I'm sure it was.
But it wasn't though.
If
You have
the
a you have a
if the
verse?
Roman law was age 12 in like 100 BC or whatever, and King Richard married
All
a,
right, so
a girl
you
at
keep you
seven
keep
years
naming
old,
all of these
it-
people that you're comparing. So are these people prophets and guided by God, guided by Allah?
I didn't say the prophets married children. I didn't say that. I
Yes,
said
you did. You
during
said
their
it was
time.
even permissible in Moses' time and the prophet's time.
I said during their times. Yes.
Okay,
This is what's prevalent in
so
society. But
this is what I'm asking.
we're
Yeah,
going far left field,
I'm
bro.
trying to hold on, because it sounds like you're mixing in cultural relativism with God's law and commands. Are those the same thing?
No,
Like
no, no, no.
does God's laws and commands stand out from the culture, or does God like demean himself and line up with whatever is popular with culture?
Avery, I said that I don't believe child marriage is Sharia, okay, or whatever.
Okay.
I don't believe God's like put in for guidance in human being that we must marry blah 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 child and blah 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 like that. I
What if
believe
he
that's
explicitly gave you permission to do it though? What if he didn't? What if he gave you permission to do it? What then?
so. Such a tough question to ask because when you have like families growing up in neighborhoods, right? And you have a daughter. We're not talking about consummating the marriage. We're not talking about like having sex and
We're
everything, bro.
talking about,
We're
brother.
talking
We're talking about
this
consummating the
girl when
marriage.
she comes of age, she's gonna be your wife and have your
We're
kids and blah
talking
blah
about
blah. You know.
consummating the marriage. We're talking about constant. I'm talking. I'm not just talking about marriage contracts. I'm talking
So
about marriages and that are consummated
so so when are you allowed to consummate the marriage?
whenever you want, as long as it doesn't
No,
cause her harm.
no. When I need to see specific. When does
I,
it say consummate the
trust me.
marriage?
I'm going to show you everything. But first,
Okay,
before I show you
sh
everything, I want to
bro.
hear
I
where your
seen your
conviction
videos,
is.
bro.
Before I show
I
you
believe.
everything, I
Okay,
want to.
okay. I'm all right. What I believe,
Yeah,
what I, what I believe is
yeah.
that God made us the human body, and when a woman menstruates, that means physically she's able to carry a child. So I believe a child cannot carry a child for 9 months and have a baby. So if God made her body menstruate, that means she can carry another, she can create another human being in her body, whatever age that is. Is she 14? We've seen high school marriages
Yeah,
where there's
let's say
12.
let's say this girl menstruated at 8. Do you think that it's okay for a man to marry and sleep with her at 8, even
But
though she bled?
I, bro, you're asking for my personal belief, but God
Yeah.
created our bodies. So why did God make her menstruate?
Well,
Menstruate,
menstruation doesn't mean
when a
that she's a
woman
woman.
menstruates,
My friend, listen.
no, no,
Menstruation
no.
doesn't mean that you're a woman yet.
So what does
Menstruation is
menstruation
a
mean?
sign of growing and maturity. Puberty doesn't mean
Menstruate,
you're a woman. Puberty means you're growing and maturing. You're not
menstruation
yet a
means
woman yet.
you're developing an egg in your
You're
in her
developing.
womb, and it can be turned
So
into
can you just answer the
another human body.
question? Can you just answer the
If she,
question?
I answered you, bro. If God created our bodies and she makes a woman body menstruate, that means she can have a baby inside her. So who am
Okay,
I
so is
to
it
argue
okay?
with
Like, let's
God?
say she's 8 years old and she bled. Is it okay for a man, let's say 50 years old, to go ahead and marry that little girl, that 8-year-old, and sleep with her?
Bro, my opinion is regardless.
I wanted to know. I want to know.
I would
No,
not
answer
like
the
that.
question. Is
No,
that
I would
okay?
not like that, bro. I
Huh?
would not like that. I would not like that, but
So it's wrong?
who am I to say it's right or wrong? If God made, I don't want to talk about this argument.
Of course you
God
don't.
made a human body.
It's very uncomfortable for Muslims. You want to know why? Because the moment that you say this is
No,
wrong,
it's uncomfortable
let me,
for modern
listen,
times, bro. Because no, it's uncomfortable in
once
modern
you
times.
acknowledge, Sailor Moon, relax. Once you acknowledge that this is wrong, like you know it is, but for some reason you're
And
struggling to say it, but this is normal. It's normal for a Muslim to struggle with this because they know that once you say this is wrong, you have just condemned Muhammad, and then you've also condemned the
No, I
Quran.
didn't condemn Muhammad. No,
Okay,
no, no,
so
no,
I'll
no.
ask
So
again.
so
I'll
what
ask
age did
again.
Mary?
Is it
What age
wrong,
did the
bro? Sailor Moon, it's a yes or no. Is it wrong
no?
for a
It doesn't
man
matter,
to sleep with an 8-year-old girl even though she bled? Is that wrong? Yes or no, bro?
bro. If it's a wife and they had two families, and this was in the past time, and it was acceptable during that time, as I told you in Roman law, the age was 12 and 100 BC.
So now
Saint
Roman law is
Augustine.
equal to Allah's Sharia.
I'm telling you, no,
Roman
no. I'm
law
telling you
is
how
equal
the
to Allah's Sharia, Allah's
bro.
law.
Why are you putting words in my mouth, bro?
So then stop
I'm not
bringing up
putting.
Roman law. We're
I'm
talking
telling
about
you how
Islam.
society has developed. How even
It's a
recently,
yes or no. Is it okay for a 54-year-old man to sleep with a little 8-year-old girl that he marries that has bled?
bro, can- bro. Times have changed.
Have
You
times
agree
changed
that
for the
times
better?
have changed
Have times changed for the better or the worse?
in some ways, in the better, and most ways, it's for the
All right, so
worse.
let me ask you this. Is it better for a man, a 54-year-old man, to sleep with an 8-year-old girl that he marries that has bled? Or is it better that he doesn't sleep with her, with an 8-year-old girl that's bled? Which one is better?
Okay, let me ask you something. Can I? Can I?
No, answer the
Can
question.
it doesn't matter what was the question? I didn't even hear you correctly. What was the question? I'm sorry, Avery. What was the question?
You know, it does take a lot. It takes a lot to deal with you guys. It does. It doesn't matter what demeanor you guys come with. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. You're a Muslim. You're a Muslim.
Bro, you
And
didn't even let me get to
as
my
a Muslim,
arguments,
let me talk.
my points.
I'm talking,
All
please.
right,
Don't
okay,
interrupt
okay,
me.
okay, okay.
Do not interrupt me right now. You guys have the same, like you have the same. Well, you have the same spirit. You do. You have the same spirit. That spirit that is antichrist, the spirit that is against truth. No matter how cool of a person that you might be, when it comes to these things, that spirit awakens, man, in all of you. It manifests. It manifests. We are dealing, like, it's spiritual warfare, guys, and you're seeing it right on display. We saw it from Musa earlier, the manifestation. We're seeing it now from our nice person, Sailor Moon's a nice guy, but he's in Islam, in the darkness and chains of Islam. It's to the point where our friend cannot answer a simple question, that he knows the answer to, but he cannot answer it. He just can't. He can't. And I don't think it's an intellectual thing. It's a spiritual thing that's blocking him and blocks these people from being able to engage honestly, from being able to acknowledge truth, to be real and call out falsehood and evil. It's a spiritual warfare, man. And I pray the Holy Spirit opens your heart, bro, and opens your mind and breaks the chains that Islam has you in, bro. Because
So,
this is terrible. You can't answer whether it's okay or not for a 54-year-old man to sleep with an 8-year-old girl that he married who bled, whether that's okay or not. You can't give a yes or no to that. Let me show you how easy it
all
is
right,
to answer that. I'll
Avery,
show you.
Avery,
I'll show you how easy it is
Avery.
to answer that.
All right, you proved your point. You made me look like a fool.
I
Can
know
we
I'm
move
not.
on
I
to
don't
other
want you.
topic? Because
No,
I
I'm
didn't
not
want to
making
talk
you look
about
like
this.
a fool. It's
Yeah,
Islam,
you
bro.
did. You made
It's
me. No,
Islam.
no,
It's
no,
not
no, no, no.
you. It's not
It's you,
you.
bro. It's you,
It's
bro.
not
It's
you.
you.
It's
It's you.
Islam.
Because 2 billion
Islam.
people around this.
Here's the thing, Sailor Moon. I'm addressing why you said Islam is true. You said because it is conducive to today's times.
Bro,
And I bring up
okay.
one thing. I bring up one thing about that's in Islam, whether it's conducive with today's times, and it's obviously not. You even said it's
Okay,
not.
okay. All right. Before you start attacking and everything, can I have an opportunity to talk?
I only want you to,
Okay.
you can have the opportunity to talk, Sailor Moon, if you answer my question. Give me a yes or no and then expound.
What was the question again?
You really don't remember what I
Seriously,
asked?
what? No, no, honestly, because you're obviously you see how I talk and I'm an introvert. You're like coming at me, and obviously I'm new to this thing. I already explained to you.
I'll
I'm
ask it
not as
again, bro.
intellectual.
I'll ask it
Okay,
again.
sure,
I'll just ask
sure,
it just straight away. Just straight away.
sure.
Is marrying and having sex with an 8-year-old who has bled, is that okay? Yes or no?
No,
Very
I'll
good.
say no.
Now expound. You have the room. Go ahead.
Okay, but okay. So you just okay. So you're gonna clip that or whatever and do what you want with that. But okay, so we'll agree to
It's a full
disagree.
discussion, bro. We
Okay.
do full discussions here. I post full
I know,
discussion.
I know, I know. Sure,
Okay.
but okay.
So what
All
do you
right.
have to say? Go ahead and expound. No, it's not okay. Thank you for saying that. Now expound.
Expound on that point, or can I expound on Islam, or can we like
On this point, this is where we're on this point. This is Islam.
okay? But I also believe times have changed, and obviously during now 2024, if obviously in most societies and around the world, an 8-year-old can't marry a 54-year-old. But can we move on to another point or no?
Nope. No, because I haven't even shown you what I want to show you yet. So now
I
that
know
you
you're gonna
know,
show me the hadiths and
nope.
everything, and
I'm not even going to Hadith, bro.
or
I'm going to the
okay,
Quran.
okay. Show me what you want to show me. Show
Yeah.
me.
I'm going to show you that from the Quran, you are allowed to marry little girls. Um, and you try to put the menstruation label there, like, oh, like if they're menstruated, then that's okay, that there's makes it somewhat
Okay.
better. I'm going to show
Uh-huh.
you that from the Quran, they don't even have to menstruate for you to be allowed to sleep with them. Before menstruation, the
And,
Quran
and
allows you.
and does the Bible have any marriage laws in the Bible?
Yes, I'll show you that. Matter of fact,
Okay.
let me just show you this really quick.
Okay. Let's talk about the Bible and the Quran then,
Yeah,
and
after I
compare them.
show, yeah, of course. After I show you
Okay.
what the Quran says, I'm going to show you what the Bible says on this. That's a fair thing. What does the Bible say on this? It's a fair question. Okay, absolutely fair. So let me go ahead and show you what the Quran says.
Okay.
So we're going to be looking at this one right here, 65:4. Right here, over here, I'm going to pull up the other verse here. All right. So 65:4, you see it on the screen?
Which one?
65:4 right here. The one on the left.
Okay.
Okay.
Which one? That's Surah 65, verse 4.
That's right. I'm going to read it.
Okay. I have my Quran too.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
can
good.
read two. If let me, I just want to see if they're the same or whatever. Blah blah blah.
No worries.
Okay. What is it? Verse 4.
Yeah.
Okay. If mine says, if you are in a doubt, the period of waiting will be 3 months for those women who have ceased menstruation and for those who have not yet menstruated. The waiting period of those who are pregnant will be until they deliver their burden. God
Hmm.
makes things easy for those who are mindful of Him. So mine
Yeah.
has a little note on the. No, I'm sorry, that was a different letter.
But you see it though. So
Oh,
it
hold on.
says, so it's talking about divorce. This is talking about divorce. That like literally the name of this chapter is talaq, which means
Right,
divorce.
I know it's divorce. Right, yeah, yeah.
So it's telling them what to do with the females that they divorce, and you know, um, before they can move on to the next man. Okay.
Okay, so can we read the verses before so we can get a broader picture? Maybe that.
Well, you can if you want. I'm telling you right now, they don't. the verses before have nothing. They don't touch.
Can I
They have
read it
no
out
weight.
loud for your audience and everything so
If you
everyone
want,
can
if
get
you
a
want, bro,
broader picture?
you're wasting time. But sure, go ahead. If it makes you feel better, go ahead.
All right, it says, Prophet, when any of you intend to, this is the first verse. Prophet, when any of you intend to divorce women, do it at a set time when their prescribed waiting period can properly start. And it gives a little note. All right, I'm not going to waste your time in reading those because I'm a slow reader anyway. So, anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
What was your question?
So verse 4. So you see how in verse 4 it said that for when you're divorcing them, right? Those
Hmm.
who have ceased menstruation. Those who have ceased menstruation, right? Those are females who are too old to menstruate. That's called menopause.
Sure.
So when you divorce the females who are too old to menstruate, their waiting period is 3 months. And the same goes for those who have not yet menstruated. Those are little girls who haven't hit puberty yet.
Okay.
And
This is
then
for
it talks,
divorce, right?
yeah, it's talking about divorcing them. So
Okay.
they've married. So the third category talks about the pregnant women. And for those who are pregnant, their waiting
Okay.
period or term is until they give birth, right? That's when they
Okay.
can move on. So we're focusing on the second category of the females, the ones who have
I,
not yet
okay.
menstruated.
Now I see. Now I'm kind of understanding where you come from. Okay.
Mhm. So it says here that they're divorcing girls before they even hit puberty. They've married them, and now they're even divorcing them before they hit puberty.
Okay.
Now, here's the important part about this.
Okay.
You see how it says that they have a waiting period, right?
Okay.
According to the Quran, when you're divorcing a woman, she only has a waiting period if you've slept with her.
Okay.
So if you haven't touched her, if you have not slept with her, then she doesn't have a waiting period.
Okay.
So this means that since these girls are being divorced, right, even before they've
Mm-hmm.
even hit puberty yet, and they
Mm-hmm.
have a waiting period, means that their husbands slept with them before they even hit puberty.
No, that's what. Where are you getting that, bro? If you in doubt, then their period is 3 months for the ones who menstruated, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it says, right? And
Yep.
for those who have not menstruated, that can be implied that they haven't consummated the marriage, so the woman is free to be given to another man or be married to another man.
Nope.
It doesn't say the man has consummated that marriage with the woman
Okay.
that is not
Go
menstruated.
to chapter. I have the verse on the screen. You see the verse on the right? You see what I have on the right?
Okay. And which surah is that? Where are we talking about now?
Are
Surah
you able?
33.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is that? What is this? What is this context now? Obviously, that chapter was about divorce. Okay,
This is the
so
same
we,
thing. It's
so
talking,
okay. Well,
talking about
the
divorce.
Quran is not given in chronological order like the Bible,
We're not
right?
talking
You
about
agree
that.
with that,
We're talking
right?
about the topic of divorce,
But,
bro. You don't
uh,
worry about
but
anything else.
no, but you should explain to the audience in everything's in context, right?
I've already explained it.
This
They
isn't.
they heard the explanation. You're the only one who doesn't
This
understand
isn't.
what I just said.
No, we just went to
My friend,
verse
just go
65.
ahead and
Okay,
get to chapter
so
33, verse 49. Just go ahead and get there.
33:49. Okay.
I have it on the screen, like you don't have to
Okay. All
wait.
you who have believed, when you marry believing women and then divorce them, you have touched them.
Before you have
Then
touched.
there is not before you have touched them, then there is not for you any waiting period to count concerning them.
You
So
see that?
provide them and give them gracious release. Yes.
So you see how they
When you
do
have
not have a
married,
waiting period when they're getting divorced if they haven't had sex, right?
okay.
You understand that?
Let me read again. All you have who have believed, when you marry believing women and then divorce them before you have touched them, then there is not for you any waiting period to count concerning them.
So you
You
see
marry
that
believing women.
So you see that in order for a waiting period to be had, in order for the woman to have a waiting period who's being divorced, her husband had to have slept with her in order for her to have a waiting period when she gets divorced. You see that?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So, how does this relate to what we just read in 65:4? In
How do
65:4,
you
the
how do you
girls,
know they relate? Okay.
yeah,
I'm
the
sorry.
girls who have
Finish.
not menstruated, they have a waiting period. The ones who have not yet menstruated, the ones who haven't hit puberty yet, they have a waiting period. You
Okay.
see that?
Okay.
So that means that their husbands slept with them since they have a
No, that
waiting
doesn't
period.
mean that. That does not mean that. You're taking one verse and applying the meaning and applying Avery, come on, you're better than that. That does not mean that. Taking two different verses of the Quran and you know the Quran is